civil society around the world. Civicus was founded in 1993, and our organization today has members in more than 145 countries. And Civicus is both a DPI NGO and an ECOSOC NGO, so we have dual citizenship, which is a great privilege. What I want to do is I want to speak a little bit about the annual UN DPI NGO conference, and also share with you an example of an NGO that is now pursuing associated status with Department of Public Information, and who had was inspired to do so precisely because they went to this conference this last August. Like Anne Marie, I was previously chair of the NGO DPI Executive Committee from 2008 to 2011, which coincided at a time when UN DPI and the NGO DPI Executive Committee took the conference on the road. Up through 2007, the conference every year took place here at UN headquarters, but in 2008, for the first time ever, we took it to Paris, and from Paris to Mexico City, from Mexico City to Melbourne, from Melbourne to Bonn. And there was a 3-year hiatus, and then we brought it back here to the UN headquarters once the renovation of the UN building was largely completed. I understand Jeff has told me that everyone has received a copy of the conference declaration. I wanted to speak a moment about what's inside this declaration and how it was created. We had a declaration conference, a drafting committee of some 25 NGO experts who were brought together where they organized both thematic and regional consultations in the lead up to and at the conference itself. And the immediate purpose of the declaration was to reflect upon the report of the Open Working Group on the SDGs and to influence the drafting of the Secretary General's synthesis report, which was then in a drafting stage. The declaration itself is 18 pages. It constitutes one of the 2 parts of the conference outcome document that reflects civil society positions on the post-2015 agenda in 3 sections: on vision, monitoring and accountability framework, recommendations on the Sustainable Development Goals, or the SDGs, including on means of implementation, and the Global Partnership for Development, for an action agenda on poverty eradication, sustainable development, human rights, and climate change. So it's quite a comprehensive document. Now, what's the difference between the conference declaration and the resource document? I just want to parse this a little bit, perhaps to inspire you to actually read it, and actually not just read it, but use it in your own advocacy work. So you'll find in section 3 on the recommendations on SDGs in the declaration, we asked each of the lead experts who are responsible for that section to identify 1 to 3 red line demands or criteria for each of the 17 goals recommended by the Open Working Group. So, and the declaration is complemented by a resource document of the 38 pages that further articulates key targets deemed as essential for the achievement of the goals, as well as identifying key actions, recommendations, and partnerships for the implementation of each goal. So you see, this is a very comprehensive document. Now, these key essential targets identified by civil society are an invaluable resource for the development of the global and national indicators that can be considered by the UN Statistical Commission currently and through the remainder of this year into next year. So the point I'm trying to make here is that the document has a longer shelf life than just this past year alone. Now, to give a concrete example in the conference declaration on a red line, a so-called red line, for goal number 1 on end poverty and